Asgard here, and it's time to talk about Witch Hat Atelier. I went into this one blind. I only knew people were hyping it up, especially the power system. Before I saw people talking about the manga, I didn't go into spoilers. I was excited for this one. I've kind of missed having a more serious fantasy series. Like, this one gives me a lot of Freerun vibes, some Black Clover a bit, Magi Choir a lot. Reminds me a bit of some series here, and the way it works together here, especially the world, has me intrigued quite a lot here, and the characters seem quite fun, and the production, what we have here, looks amazing. I love the art style, especially the way it's kind of like the fairy tale books, the vibe that we have here with the art style kind of gets you a lot into the role. The list for me, I always like fantasy quite a lot more over something like science fiction, and the power system also gives me some Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood with how it's being set up, at least the surface level that we had here in the beginning. So far I am quite into this series, very intrigued to say the least. This is gonna be just a first impressions video. I'm probably gonna have it week to week with videos here. Seems to be like quite a good series, and I'm gonna stick anime only. But let's go into these first two episodes, because we had two episodes here aired, and see what this series is about. Now, we start a bit with an exposition with how witches, what are they? Are they born? Are they made? Are they not? Or top athletes or something like that? And kind of gets you to ask some questions about yourself. If you're born, is it natural talent? Can you work towards it here? And the way we find out more about the world, I really liked that first question, like we see from Coco there. And I like her quite a lot because of how much she loves magic, but also what that magic did to her own world, to her own life, how everything's changed after this. And the vibe for it looks gorgeous there. It really puts me into that fantasy vibe. Here, when she was washing clothes into that magic water here, how much she loves magic, and talking about how only witches can use magic and ordinary people can't. And that's a key point, because she's also ordinary until something happens, which we're gonna get into this. How excited she was over a carriage, a Pegasus carriage here, and she runs into this, how I called it called him at the start, white-haired dude, but later we find out his name, Kifrey. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names here. Coco, she lives with her mother. They run a textile store, fabric store there. Apparently, she lost her father to some disease or something like that. And what happens next is not gonna be that easy. We're gonna get into that there, but she's also very good at the technical side of this shop, cutting fabric, drawing things. I know a bit about textile, so to say. I have a history with that bit, and she's actually really good at that. Even the white-haired dude Kifrey was impressed by how good she was. And what I liked about him, he actually called her skills magic, like how good she was. And I kind of like that, just showing that magic can also be from humans, how good they are at something, not just normal magic, something magical being called magic. Somebody doing something normal, a skill, when they are so good at it, they can elevate it where it seems like magic here. And it's probably connected to the world there, and even asks her why she likes magic so much. And she reveals that when she was a kid, she ran into a witch, somebody selling magic books, shady witch there, like kind of like that meme with the vendor unleashing his hood and what would you like here? I have everything there. And kind of interesting, just shelling out magic books and wands to everybody who wants them, even a random kid, considering how the magic is into this world. We're gonna get into that. Probably one of the big mysteries of the series, whoever that person was and why were they just giving away magic to everybody. Even Kifrey got interested into that, but they get a bit interrupted there. But also in the flashback, what I liked also made it a bit sad there, when she got so excited with the magic she got, her mother told her, kind of broke her dream in a way, telling her only those who are born with magic can use it, and if the ground keeps shining until we get home, you're also one of those. And you knew from just when she said that, and we know in the present she's ordinary, the ground wasn't gonna keep shining. The mother was realistic, which kind of makes you think a bit. It's a interesting world here. Like, you're supposed to tell your kids you can be anything you want, but when there's this hard rule in the world that just those born with magic can use it, kind of reminded me a bit of Black Clover there, and with Maggie, kind of broke Coco's world there. You see how much it pained her with that, but she still stuck with it. She always had that admiration for magic there. But then back in the present, we have some kids messing with the Pegasus carriage. It breaks down, and Kifrey offers to help to fix it there. And of course, Coco and the two kids try to sneak to see the magic. He doesn't let them, but she makes it inside there. She grabs her books and actually picks at how this magic is. And to her surprise, and my surprise also, I didn't expect the magic to be drawn, like symbols, patterns, sigils, circles, shapes, forms, lines, and things like that. Made me think a bit of Full Metal Alchemist there, and made her question a lot of things, so to say, here. And she realizes something, that what she bought when she was a kid wasn't a wand. The wand is actually a pen, and spells aren't cast, they are drawn. And she actually sort of stumbled into a big giant secret here. And of course, everybody leaves, everything goes back to normal, at least for a bit. And I like how the flag was triggered here when her mother told her she was relieved that Coco didn't instantly chase after that witch, referring to Ifrey there, and Coco saying, "I'll never leave you, mom." I'm like, okay, so she's probably gonna leave, something is gonna happen, the mom is gonna die, something is gonna make her leave home there. They revealed that the father died to an illness, and the mother didn't want to be left alone. I'm like, okay, we know where this is going here. But then she goes back home and she starts checking the things she bought as a kid, with revealing that in fact a pen starts drawing a bit, and one ink drops connects the circle. It's a key in the power system. When you draw something, you have to connect that circle to activate the spell there. And she actually starts connecting it. She gets very happy, excited. I really like her energy. She really has kind of like the magic gremlin energy. We know how Freeran is with spells. Imagine turning that up to 1000, how much he is into magic, but then also gets scared by it, which I really like that dynamic there. Imagine loving something so much, but also at the same time something bad happened to you thanks to that. And speaking about it, here she starts tracing one of the spells in the book she had as a kid there, tracing it, drawing, tracing over the lines, copying in them. It's forbidden magic. Kifrey has to step in and save her. He went back because something triggered in his mind with the book, the story here. Thankfully he did, because what she started activating there is this giant freeze spell. In a way, it freezes the house, and of course the mother gets caught into it, triggering the flag that we had at the beginning there. We see how distraught Coco is. She tries to break free from Kifrey to try to save her mother, but unfortunately I don't know if she can be saved, or at least not now, maybe in the future. This is gonna be her driving goal here, and kind of changed her relationship with magic. Up so far it was this wonderful, magical, lovable, great thing, only helping people, doing good and so on, but she now kind of stumbled into the dark side of it, and she actually triggered the incident that killed or trapped her mother. Not sure about that, we'll have to see. But then here I'm really liking the world, how it was set up. Kifrey saying the secret here, magic was a secret, and one great rule of witches: special ink and casting seals and erasing the memories of those who know. We find out a bit more in the second episode here. He wants to erase her memory, but she kind of has a leverage, saying she remembers the book she read because the book is trapped in the ice there. and he's gonna lose all connection to that book because he wants to track whoever was the one that was selling the book there, and kind of makes it even more questionable who the fuck was selling magic to kids. What we find out in episode 2 being forbidden magic, war magic, and things like that. And he also wants to save her mother if that's possible. So he doesn't erase her memories, and Kifrey has a chance with this and kind of inducts her into the witch's world here. She's gonna have to be one of those that keep the secrets to save her mother and also learn magic. So first episode actually set up quite some very interesting things, especially the world building. I'm a lot more interested in the world building so far as I am to the characters, but it's only the beginning. I'm ready to fall in love a bit more with the characters, and episode 2 definitely did help a bit with that. We have Coco and Kifrey going to his atelier there, telling her he put a barrier around her house so other people don't get close to that. We see how much Coco has been affected by everything that has happened, leaving her mother alone, kind of breaking that promise here. The trauma is here. She's probably gonna stay with her quite a lot. Imagine if we don't even have to think about magic, doing something that did bad things to other, and you blame yourself quite a lot. Even though she was just a kid trying things, doing randomly, you can't help but blame yourself, and it's probably a lot heavier considering how much she loves magic. But whoever sold her that magic and book just wanted chaos into the world, basically what happened here. But also affected her relationship with magic. Coco, she kind of a bit scared with it, not as excited as she was at the beginning. She still has that excited part, but she's a lot more careful now, and we get to meet a bit other students there. Two girls here. We see how the vapor bubble thing, drawing moisture from the air, teaching a bit here the thank you cycle. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Teti and Rikech. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names here. Two students, and we meet one Agot later, which seems to be a bit more important than the others there. And Coco kind of has a reputation now into the witches world, an outsider who used forbidden magic. Even the other students were a bit apprehensive about her here. But then we get some exposition and lore thanks to Kifrey kind of teaching Coco and to us at the same time. Apparently in the past, magic was actually very normal. Everybody could use that. But then conflict arose, it kept escalating, horrific spells were created, on more and more and more. And apparently a group of witches who had conscience, but I have a theory about this. I'm not knowing if I'm wrong, but I'm suspecting something with this. Apparently those witches formed a pact to take the memories of magic and protect it, to keep it away so people don't abuse it here. That was the day of the pact. Keep magic hidden and protected from hurting others. Now, this sounds great. It's probably the case, but you can also look at it the other way. What if they just wanted to keep the power from themselves, not let normal people have also power? Because you can probably control it more instead of just blanket erasing the memories of everybody. Just forbade some spells there, don't teach people insane spells and things like that, have it controlled a bit more. I don't know where to land with this. There's a lot more probably to this pact and the history that we don't know about the world, and it's hard to take everything at face value, even more after Kifrey was talking to somebody, a superior or something, about Coco and that book that she got a hold of, thanking them, him, her, whoever was in charge there for allowing him to take Coco as an apprentice. So we have a lot of big mysteries to think, even questioning this pact that we have here, but it definitely made the world quite interesting here. And apparently spells have rules. Casting on the human body is prohibited regardless of whatever it is. Teleportation, even healing is not allowed. Apparently only one exception, erasing memories, to keep this secret here. And I liked him showing her that magic window, changing the views and showing her the Tower of Tomes. All magic books are copied there, so there's probably a copy of the book she used here. But it's full of monsters around, and there's a trial for it. Four librarians are protecting it, so you have to learn, take tests if you want to go to this Tower of Tom. So we have a goal, something to pursue here. And I liked Kifrey here also showing her the beautiful side. He gave her the warnings, the history of bit of the world, but then showing her the flowers, the beautiful in magic, kind of rekindling that love a bit with Coco. They're not just doom and gloom, keep her down, especially after everything that happened here. And this was the moment also after that when he talked to that superior there. Then we get to meet Agot. Apparently, she is Coco's roommate there. She shows up. She's very cold and stern, so to say, with Agot. She doesn't really like Coco, at least that's the impression I got at the start. She wants for Coco to prove herself here, and she is kind of an asshole, a bit, or realistic. I don't know where to place Agot, at least at the beginning. She was a bit blunt, let me put it that way. She told Coco that after what she did with casting that forbidden magic, her mom will never be human again. So I don't know what that means. Is she gonna be able to be saved again? Is she gonna be magical creature? Is she gonna be affected by magic? Or a lot of questions regarding this, but telling that to somebody who is in that state, maybe you're coming from a good place, but also being hyper blunt. I don't know. So Agot, we're gonna have to see how the relationship develops from here. Now, Kifrey is teaching her, giving her tools for magic here. Kind of killed her with the book, so much she studied there. And explaining a bit about magic, how it works, thanks to Coco learning and Coco retelling it back to him to see if she learned. And we also learned thanks to Coco. There's 3 elements in a spell here. The sigil is at the centers, the lines are the signs, and the ring connecting everything there, and it's elemental based there. And Coco drawing one of it. She was very shy about showing it to Kifrey. She completes the circle, Kifrey telling her, and it starts splashing water over Agot, which it's fine, it didn't bother me, but you can tell it definitely bothered Agot there, and even starts telling Coco what she did wrong, pointing her with the drawing here. And apparently Kifrey has to go to this great hall, a visit for a few days, and leaves Coco with Agot, which I'm like, you're leaving the chicken with the fox kind of here, considering the relationship there, which I'm excited for. I'm curious where this dynamic is gonna go between Agot and Coco. I'm thinking Agot is gonna be a good person, but she's very stern, direct, blunt, and things like that. And Coco is gonna have a hard time, but I probably think it's gonna be to her benefit. So I'm curious where that is going to go there. And Agot wants Coco to prove herself. So yeah, 2 episodes here. I kind of speedrun a bit with everything that happened. To say I'm intrigued would be an understatement. I'm really liking the world here, the lore, everything that has been set up. I have a ton of questions. Of course, it's unfair for me to already have answers, but I'm more than willing to keep watching this series. And like I said, production, art style, I'm really liking the vibe. Querla, the animation looks great here. I'm liking the characters, the design here. Fantasy, pure fantasy. I'm really liking this. Querla reminds me a lot of series combined here. Like I said at the start, the characters are slowly getting a bit more developed, and it's great that we had 2 episodes instead of 1. I really wish more series would do something like this, or have a 1-hour episode or stuff like this to get you a bit more into the series, the world, the characters, and so on. So this is a great start for a new non-sequel series here. So I'm liking it quite a lot. We'll see where it's gonna go. I'm a blind only anime. I haven't read the manga, which I'm probably gonna stay this way for the duration of the anime. Maybe after the anime, maybe I'll read the manga, but for now, anime only. So I'm really curious what you guys thought about the series. If you're anime only, comment down below. If you've read the source material, let me know how the adaptation is so far. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Witch Hat Atelier. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.